Hello friends, welcome back to the channel again, Code with me. So friends, in this session of Java, we'll be discussing about another important topic to learn as well as for interview, that is multi-threading. So friends, I assume you guys are aware that multi-threading is one of the most important topic coming to the advanced Java. So by making use of multi-threading, what are the advantages we come across? I assume you guys are aware about that. So friends, in this video, let us dive into the multi-threading. So in this video, let us learn what is multi-threading, how it is worked with Java, how to fuse multi-threading with Java and everything. So before directly jumping to this video, if you are still not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button icon so that you will be never missing my new updates. So friends, okay, starting about multi-threading. So as a formidable way, let's start with the definition of what is multi-threading. See friends, multi-threading in Java is a process of executing multiple threads simultaneously. See friends, Java program allows you to perform multiple tasks at a single time. So if you want to perform an multiple operations on simultaneously, you have to make use of multi-threading. You heard me right. So if you ask me what is this multi-threading, see friends, as well as the name indicates multi in the sense more than one, threading in the sense, right, a thread is nothing but a lightweight sub process, a smallest unit of processing. This is one of the most primary objective of multi-threading. Thread is nothing but it's also called as a process. It's kind of a line of execution. Here what will be here, we'll be making use of multiple threads. A thread is nothing but an operation. So if you make use of multiple threads, that is called as multiple operations. So that is the way you can perform multiple operations by simultaneously. So by creating more than one threads, so the number of threads you create in program, so that number of operations can be performed simultaneously. So that's why it is so called as multi-threading. So what is this thread? A thread is a lightweight sub-process, a smallest unit of processing. A multi-process and a multi-threading both are used to achieve multitasking. See friends, use multi-threading than multi-processing because threads use a shared memory area. They don't allocate separate memory area to save memory, and context switching between the threads that take less amount of time. See friends, I assume you guys are aware. If you want to perform a multiple task, so the level of the RAM should be big enough to perform multiple operations. That is when the operation will go smooth. Okay, so by making use of these threads instead of multitasking or context switching, what happens, your memory will be saved dramatically. Okay, so friends, in this video let us learn how do you apply multi-threading in a Java source code. Okay, so obviously friends, you guys are aware that every Java program starts with a class. Even the main class as well as normal class starts with a class. Okay, in class we do contains multiple methods. See friends, if you want to achieve multi-threading, you have to inherit a method called as thread method. Okay, so by this way you will be achieving multi-threading. Okay, so when you inherit a thread class, as you can see here, when you inherit a thread class, what will happen, you will inherit only one method, that is called as run method. Okay, as well as along with the thread method you will be also implementing interface just in case if you need it. I will let you know why do we make use of this runnable interface. Okay, so in multi-threading, if you make use of runnable interface, so it will be useful for updating your source code. So when you implement runnable interface to your source code, it will contain thread method as well as your class. Okay, so you'll be so when you implement a runnable interface, friends, you'll be implementing an abstract class which is an empty class. So friends, multi-threading can be achieved by thread method as well as runnable interface. Okay, so if you make use of, if you extend a thread, what will happen here, you'll extend a run method. So if you make use of in a runnable interface, you'll be making use of threads as well as methods. By this way, what happens, your program will run smoothly than you expected. Okay, so I request you kindly please note down if you need it the theory part which is written here. Okay friends, so for instance I'll be taking this out and I'll be starting directly with the coding part. Okay, so friends, for instance I'll be taking this out. Okay, I'll be starting with the coding part. So initially I start with class demo. Here I'll be making use of hello Java. Okay, so now when I try to execute, friends, the program will not execute because you clearly see here. I'm so sorry. Okay, now when I try to execute the program will not execute. I'm sorry, it will execute because you clearly see here, friends, I have extended thread here. Since I have extended only thread, the output has obtained here. Now what I will do, I'll just copy this class. I'll be creating another class called as demo2 extends thread. Okay, so since it has been extended thread class, so public void will come. Here I will writing as hello advanced Java. Okay, now when I try to execute the program, let us see what happens here. The output will come only hello Java. Now what I will do, okay, I'll just take this out. Demo 1, D1, I'm sorry, demo 2, right? Yeah, demo 2, D2, demo 2. Okay, what I will do, D dot run. D2 dot run. Now when I try to execute the program, let us see what happens here. Sorry friends, there's a slight mistake here. Okay, now when you see here, friends, you can see hello Java, hello advanced Java. The program has been successfully executed. But the thing is, in this program, the multi-threading is not applied. You heard me right. The multi-threading is not applied. Okay, obviously you have extended the thread class, but you have not made use of that thread class in your main program. If you ask me, how do you achieve multi-threading by this format? What I will do, friends, I'll just take this out. Okay, so anyway, I have created object for two class, right? We're creating thread class, thread method, I mean threads, thread equals new thread. Okay, just a second. Okay, so I'm sorry, friends. So you can clearly see here, I have made use of object. Right. Now what I will do, friends, I'll be making use of b dot start. Okay, instead of directly running the run class, okay, I mean run method, I'm making use of I'll just start the thread class. E2 dot start. Clearly see here, there is no method called as start class in here. There is only public void run in demo class and public void run in demo class. Now what I will do, I try to run these threads. When I try to, I repeat, friends, here now clearly see here d dot start, d2 dot start. Here I am not running the methods. Here I am running the threads. Now when I execute the program, let us see what happens here. Clearly see here, hello, the output is remains same, but the difference here is, friends, d dot start means here I have not executed the method. Here I have executed the thread. You heard me right. See, when I made use of d dot run, okay, the output remains same. Okay, but executing a class and executing a thread, there's a lot of difference. So by executing a class, we make use of the method name. But in executing of thread, we make use of start dot start. Execute, the output remains the same. So friends, now assume that you guys are aware what is exactly threads class. Now what I will do, friends, I'll just take this out and I'll implement, okay, implements a runnable interface. Okay, okay, I'll just copy this out. I'm sorry, okay. Now what I have, friends, here I have not extended any class. Perhaps I have implemented an abstract class which is found to be nothing inside it. You heard me right, friends. Okay, now when I execute the program, obviously it will show error because now I have implemented an abstract class. Now I have not directly inherited the thread class. Perhaps I have implemented the runnable interface which contains run abstract class is nothing inside it. Okay, if you ask me how shall I execute when I already implemented the runnable interface, what I will do is take this thing out. Okay, anyway, I have implemented runnable interface for demo and demo 1 2 class. What I will do, I have to create threads for it. Okay, I create a thread t equals new thread. Okay, and for a second demo class, thread equals new thread. Okay. So friends, now you can see here I have created threads for demo 1 and demo 2. Okay. Now I will execute the threads. Now if you ask me how should I execute, see, and now you clearly see here make use of t dot start because it belongs to demo 1 and t2 dot start. Okay. So friends, when I try to execute the program now, the program will not run. Repeat friends, now if I try to execute the program will not run. Okay. Now I'll execute the program. Okay, you can clearly see here the output is showing 0. Obviously I have run t1 and this t and t2 thread is successfully has executed. Heard me right friends. Now thread t and thread t2 is successfully executed, but the thing is you have not mentioned that which thread belong to which class. You heard me right. So if you want to execute one friends, I'll make use of this reference class. Okay, so I'll mention that this thread t belongs to this d class. Just copy this d and we'll thread it here. Okay, and this thread t2 belongs to this demo2 class. Just mention here. Now when I try to execute the program, let us see what happens. Really see here friends, the output has been successfully obtained by implementing thread class and now the output has been successfully obtained by inheriting the thread class and implementing the runnable interface. Obviously without making use of multi-threading, the output remains the same, but the output that is obtained by achieving multi-threading. You can clearly see here friends the result. CPU time 0.13 seconds, memory is 30244 kilobytes. So that this implies that the memory allocated and the time of execution. Obviously the output remains same with or without using multi-threading, but what I will do, for instance, I'll be creating another class. Okay, copy this. Okay, the made use of demo3. Okay, demo3 class. Here I'm making use of demo3 class. Okay, here let's take this out and make it as 3. Here let's make it as 3. Okay, here also let's take this out. Okay, 3, 3, B3. Okay, and now I'll make use of T3 dot start. Okay, for references, I'll be changing the statement. Hello, advanced Java. How are you? Okay, so now when I try to execute the program, sorry, slight mistake here, friends. Let me get it for you. Okay, so now when I try to execute the program, so now when I try to execute the program, all the 3 threads has been successfully executed and displaying their internal operation here. Okay, clearly see here inside demo there is hello Java that is printed here. Okay, so one thread is completed. So thread number 2 contains hello advanced Java. So thread 2 is completed. So third thread contains hello advanced Java, how are you? So the thread 3 also executed. You clearly see here friends, all the thread has been successfully executed and displayed the output. So friends, this is how you execute multi-threading in Java programming language. Okay, so I request to kindly please note down the program here. Okay, I'll be slowing down class demo. So if I'm fast, request to kindly please pause the video, note down the program. So this is class demo, implements the enable interface. Okay, this is the program and this is for demo 2 class and this is for demo 3 class and this is how you execute in the main method. Okay, so friends, the session of multi-threading ends here. If you have any doubts regarding multi-threading, request to kindly please pin down your doubts in the comment section. I'll definitely reply you back. And thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.